I finally watched a movie my 6-year-old self couldn't, Ponyo. In August of 2009, when I was a little girl, I would see a commercial for a movie on the TV of a name I couldn't pronounce, or at least I tried and I didn't know if I was pronouncing it correctly. I liked it when that commercial would come on. When we had satellite TV, I always recorded movies or shows, and one time I happened to record a show. I believe it was a show on Disney because I was always watching the Disney Channel at the time. And whenever I would fast forward through the ads, I discovered I recorded the TV commercial for Ponyo. I kept that recording of that show just because of the Ponyo commercial, as if it was a keepsake of mine. To my 6-year-old self, that commercial would come on rarely, and when it did, I would always stop and watch it as if it was the best moment of my life. I mean, that's how I discovered Ponyo, was through that commercial ad. It felt like a Bigfoot sighting to me when it would come on. I was so captivated by it. The way the art style looked was like nothing I've ever seen before. I was always drawn to it and never forgot how the art style looked. The poster of the movie stuck with me as a kid. I could always close my eyes and still imagine it. I can never forget it. I could always imagine what it is and identify it because of the movie poster, but I never got to watch the movie. And while time went on and flash forward to more in the future, I began to learn that Ponyo was produced by a Japanese studio called Studio Ghibli. And they have so many more movies that I have added to the back of my mind to watch. And I discovered about Studio Ghibli whenever I first got my phone back in high school. And when I had internet access back in high school. But Ponyo was still number one to see on my list first, and can only be first. I mean, ever since I was a little girl, I wanted to watch it, but I never had the opportunity to. I remember being in elementary school and looking for at least books, like just trying to find something in relation to Ponyo, or even I thought I could find a book that was based off of that commercial, but I never really found anything. And then going to the grocery store, or the store in general, I could never even find the cover art of the film, so I never found the movie. But fast forward to nowadays in the 21st century, and everyone shares their subscription passwords. Everybody has a subscription to something. I collected all these subscription passwords, all except for one, and that is HBO Max. And Ponyo and a lot of the Studio Ghibli movies is on HBO Max. Whenever I was 19, I tried to watch this movie at my grandma's house back in February 2023. But life around me, especially in the moment of trying to watch it, overcame me, and it was very overwhelming. I tried sitting down and watching it, but based on circumstances of the time, I never got to finish watching it, and that same month of February, my grandma passed away from cancer, and I never attempted to watch it again after that. I only got to the part where the little boy Sasuke meets Ponyo and is taking her in his bucket in the car. Flash forward to August 8th, 2025. I am now 22 years old, so from February 2023 to now August 8th, 2025. I am at my grandmother's house, and of course, me being there wasn't necessarily planned as soon as I was. I had to stay with my grandmother due to circumstances, and I chose to sleep on the couch. And I suddenly had the thought of, I think Grandma has someone's HBO subscription. So when I finally got my hands on the remote, I checked, and sure enough, she did. So around 8 p.m., I got a hold of that sticky remote, and I started the movie Ponyo. I emphasized to the people around me I've been wanting to see this since I was a little girl, and it's been a long time coming. Of course, it didn't go as smoothly as I planned. My grandmother lost interest in it and began to go to the kitchen antsy. I had to stop watching the movie and take care of her, so I had to rewind the movie a lot and pause it till I got her ready for bed, and she was asleep for the night. So both times I tried to watch this movie, the situation going on around me wasn't ideal. I couldn't just sit down for a long period of time till the movie was over. I believe this time around, the movie was playing in the background and I was busy. I was missing everything, so I don't even remember what moment I got up to till I was distracted with what was happening around me. But it was late at night and I didn't know if to turn off the TV and go to bed because everybody else was going to bed, or to just rewind it to the spot I last remember seeing and watching it, till I realized, when will I have another opportunity to watch it? And if not now, how long till I can? So I just turned off all the lights in the house and lowered the TV's volume and relaxed with the couch and TV all to myself and watched it. Of course, there was the occasional pauses to get up and use the restroom and check on my grandmother, but close to the middle of the movie, it finally led me to just sitting down for a long time without getting up And I'm glad I did because I haven't been able to watch the movie since then. Part of me wishes I saw Ponyo when I was that 6-year-old girl to experience it at 6 years old. Because when you're 6 years old, you don't really have nothing to worry about. I'm happy I got to watch the movie regardless. The moments that I remember and stick out to me the most when I first watched it is when Sasuke communicates with his father, when his father is out at sea. Even though the father's hardly home and is busy with work, I really like when characters put an effort into finding a way to communicate. When you get busy and caught up in work and life, he thought of a way to communicate with his family in their own special way by using Morse code with a light when he's out at sea and is in view of the home he has with his family. I also liked how fast the mom drives every time she's in the car. It is so funny to me because the way the mom drove reminded me of when I used to go to elementary school with my auntie in the morning, getting in the car with her and how she drove so fast to school on the road and how we would never leave on time every morning and we would have to drive a ways just to get to the school, passing so many things fast just like in the movie. My auntie and the mom of the movie have a heavy hand on the wheel and gas. I also like when Sasuke and Ponyo were sitting eating ramen. That looked so good whenever I watched it. When you're watching things late at night and there's food, you always get hungry. I also remember, I believe back in 2022, seeing a clip of someone recreating that hot milk in the anime. So I wanted to try it as well. So I would occasionally warm up almond milk with honey and cinnamon in my mug in the microwave so I could try it. And this may sound silly, but doing that made me feel closer to the movie. And when I would make that hot milk, I would always remember drinking it and thinking, this is from the movie I always wanted to watch. Also, once watching the movie, I felt the same fear that Sasuke had when he went out looking for his mom, not knowing what happened to her, but was determined to find her. It reminded me of the classic feeling of losing my parent in a grocery store and not knowing where they are. It's a very daunting feeling when you lose all communication with a person and have to actively search for them. Overall, I like watching the movie because around me there was a lot of going on, of course, and watching the movie alone at night was relaxing. The visuals of the movie were pleasant, and the storytelling reminded me of being a kid again. Like I was watching kids' literature come to life at its best and feeling a part of that world instead of having to imagine it in my head. It was just such an easygoing experience. Finally seeing more of the movie's visuals was a long-lost dream of mine. As a kid, I would search for art close to it, and I have only seen that minute or less advertisement as a kid. So I'm so happy I finally got to see more visuals of the movie come to life. Overall, it was great. I wasn't overanalyzing anything. I wasn't thinking and stressing so hard about life. I was just simply watching. I like watching movies that impact my mood in a good way. It was a good movie to end the night and go to bed because after all this time, I finally watched Ponyo. Thank you for listening to this simple story that I wanted to share.